Bearcat Bounce Podcast. Back at it again Monday. That's right, Monday. Following victory Saturday. A big win for the Bearcat football team. Pudge the Cat. Goodbye. Sayonara. Eddie George. Looking good. Goodbye. Sayonara. Victory Monday. Some bright spots. Brendan Sorsby, Sling the Rock. Jake Golday, NFL, looks like a lock. A little bit of a Monday rhyme for you. Monday, though, where we're going to rehash the game and look forward to a big tussle this upcoming week against the Northwestern State. Somethings. And we're gonna bring it all for you because we're all assembled. We're all ready. So without further ado, Aaron Smith, Chad Brendel, Ryan Royer. The dogs are barking. Gentlemen, how are we?
It's been a day. It's been a day.
Yes.
I've got a 15-year-old that might not make it to tomorrow. So
she's trying her hardest.
She's trying to see what she can get under my. She's been sick for a couple of days, and now she's apparently feeling better, which means she has to make up for all the time she didn't annoy me over the weekend, 5 minutes before the show starts. So that's currently where we're at.
Wow, that's good to hear.
Yeah, don't have kids. For the two of you here that haven't figured this out yet, don't have kids, right, Aaron?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Aaron tells me about how awesome it is to have kids, so I don't know. We'll have to see.
I need as many Brent Young Juniors running around this world as possible.
Brother, you're telling me. Anyone out there looking to help me out with getting all the Brent Young Juniors running around? You know where to find me every Monday night. Here we are. Hop in the chat. But yeah. Chat is great.
Applications will start flowing in.
Bro, you're telling me. Chad, Aaron, it was good seeing you guys over the weekend.
It was nice to have you back in town. You look
beautiful as always.
You look sun splashed.
Oh,
you trimmed down, looking lean and mean.
You live in Florida. You got it. You got to make moves, baby. Got to make moves. Got to make moves. But Aaron, how are we, man? Long time.
We got some hand, foot, mouth running through this house right now with the kids. That's
Beautiful.
super fun.
Beautiful.
Super fun. So back to not having kids.
Well, your fingernails and your toenails fall off for that kind of stuff. So.
Well, I'm good. I'm clear.
Good for now.
Kids, babies.
For now.
Kelly had it at one point in time while she was in the hospital. It was maybe one of the grossest things I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. Man.
Like she had a sore on the back of her tongue that looked like an alien had taken over her body. It was insane.
That was running rampant in middle school football back in Old Hilliard, Ohio, drinking from the water hose at practice. So there was an epidemic. I skated by too then. So Aaron, we must have like the mutation gene or something.
I guess.
Patient 0.
You stay away from that eye, nose, and feet disease. What hand, foot, mouth?
Hand, foot, and mouth, Brent. Yeah, hand, foot, and
eye,
mouth.
foot, ass. We'll call it that.
There we go. Stay away from me, big dog. Aaron, that sounds fun. My epidemic that I had to go through, Royer, back in the playing days, that it was the staph infections. My buddy of mine, Rick, shout out to Rick. I'm not going to give out the last name. He's a great guy, but boy, he had this thing like his hand, like I'm saying, like this big on his hand, just a hole, just a hole from staph. So, hey man, stay clean out there.
Start to the show.
Yeah, very. Stay clean out there. Aaron, good luck. It hasn't gotten to you yet. What is
thanks.
it? If you have the chicken pox, you can't get it, or is that something else?
Nope. They're completely different.
Alrighty.
Two totally different things. You're thinking of what, shingles?
Yep,
Shingles.
that's right. And that is talking hand, foot, and mouth on the BB.
Timestamp.
Good luck to
Timestamp,
you,
baby.
Aaron. Good luck to you.
Oh my God.
Ryan
This is
Royer.
the best.
My man, how are we, brother?
I'm doing well. I was away all week and weekend on a work trip out in the beautiful Hartford, Connecticut. Hadn't been back there since the good old Yukon playing days. So didn't miss it. And I was reminded why I didn't miss it when I got there. Not the best city.
Lot to do.
Got some
out there.
Yeah, I got some work done. But had to take in the game virtually, which is not how I like to spend my opening Nippert Saturdays, but you do what you got to do for the love of the country, man, for the love of the corporate country. But I'm doing well. Happy to be back. It's been a good, solid Monday. Good start to the week.
NFL. That was a fun Sunday. Were you traveling during? Were you able to not? Okay.
I got to watch the last quarter of the Ravens Bills at home, which was a good way to take in some football. So get to actually sit down and watch a great game. The fighting Buffalo Bills, man. I'm a fan of them, fan of what they do. Josh Allen playing like the MVP in week 1. So good entertainment.
I was able to watch the Bengals game at Knockback Nats. Shouts, no free shout outs, but went there.
Incredible wings.
Went there for the first time. They've got good brisket quesadilla
nachos
as well. Well, quesadilla
brisket nachos are awesome.
Is the route.
Wow.
Went here, a little horseradish dipping sauce, a little.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, buddy. But yeah, the Bengals, man. Shouts to them, looking awesome. Big win.
Don't even get me started on that, man.
Golly, that's for a different podcast.
Did you guys see
7 total yards in the second half?
Yeah. I don't know if you caught it. Did you see Jake Sopko on national television, Chad?
No. Was he in the crowd?
They show him? After they missed the field goal, he was hitting the surrender cobra. It is unbelievable.
Say you got it on camera.
God.
Pull it up, baby.
Friend of the network, Jake Sopko.
That's right.
Oh my God, that's outstanding.
Let's go.
I was like, because he's a way bigger Browns fan than me, but I was like, what a very painful but also hilarious memory you're going to carry with you for the rest of your life. Add it to the thousands of Browns moments, but now you get one cemented in national television for life.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah, that game was sure was interesting, but you know what? A win's a win, and that might be the theme of the podcast today. A win's a win. Just keep stacking them. But yeah, that's good. Same thing with me. I got home, traveled, and got back just in time to sit down, hunker down for the fourth quarter of that Sunday night football game, and it reminded me, why I love football. Like that was it. The all-encompassing reason to, after the whole weekend of like, and dang, that game, that some spread, whoa, the under, oh, the over. Yeah, tough. But then you watch that fourth quarter and you're like, yes, I love football. But speaking of loving football, go to the game this upcoming Saturday against Northwestern State. Big win. And then go to Danco Transmission and Auto Care. Tell them that we sent you. Tell Danco Joe, hey, I'm here because the boys over at the BBP sent me. Get a 10% off a big old fixing. Get $10 off your oil change, and then hop in the car and spend like 2 weeks getting to that next game in Lawrence, Kansas. Just do a little road trip.
Oh my God.
After you go to Danco Transmission and Auto Care, because boy, it is Northwestern State and then a bye. Boy, oh boy. So take your time getting to Lawrence, Kansas, but make
it's
sure
like going back to the off season, content wise.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think you said it on a BCJ pod, but that would be a perfect time for a nice little guest, that little bye week. Because we're like a little bit too far away from the start of basketball season where we're
practice starts next week.
Okay. Now we're talking.
So I don't know if we'll have somebody on this show because there's 4 of us, so we
There
can
is.
pretty much talk about anything here.
Yeah, we could talk about the landscape of college sports. That'll be a good one.
Ever changing.
That will not be a good one.
I'm joking. Oh, we could have a little pop culture episode.
Snake draft, superlatives. We'll hit all the favorites.
Yes, snake draft, our top movies, TV shows.
We'll do some ball washing. We'll all be homers.
Yes.
And I'm going to be extremely positive through it all. I love it. Optimism abounds. Danco Transmission Nautica. We love you, Danco Joe, man. And you know what the funniest thing is? Danco Joe kept on asking Chad, tell me more about this offensive line. Tell me more about this offensive line. And even though they funneled in 2 players this past game for a boatload of snaps, they haven't given up a sack in the first 2 weeks. They just won Big 12 Offensive Line of the Week. So Danco Joe, you were on to something asking about the offensive line. We're going to talk a little bit more about that here in a bit. But first things first, as we always do. 30.
You know what I love though?
Yes.
There's nothing I love more than people that block you so that they can talk shit about you and you can't see it. Except now, Elon changed the thing. You can see it now. I can see you talking shit.
See, I was wondering because I don't see it, and then all of a sudden, there it was.
Were you blocked too?
I don't even know, man. I
Oh,
live a life. I just
bitch.
live a life. I live a life.
That's all.
And then I come here on Mondays and get to sit down with my best friend Ryan Royer and talk about Cincinnati sports. So
bitch move.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Anyway, yes, 34-20 win. A win's a win. Pudge the Cat got to see the legend on the field before the game. Very hairy, and like hair everywhere, hairy. Do not ask to hold Pudge the Cat. Pudge the Cat has his own security guard. How about that? It's starting to become pretty daggone big. And they gave Pudge the Cat a helmet. I don't know if you saw. They gave him a little mini helmet, put it on his head. You can't see his head, like his face through it, but Pudge the Cat. Now I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it publicly, but I wanted to take Pudge the Cat home with me, but I could not do it. Security was too tight. I did attempt.
They let Reagan pet it. Reagan had it in her arms.
Yeah. Yes.
Petting the cat.
That was the one time I had to take it and run with it. Aaron, Pudge the Cat, you were the biggest fan heading into this past Saturday. Are you an even bigger fan now?
Sure wasn't. Didn't care. Walked past it. Reagan freaked out. Reagan needed to pet it, and she said she was starstruck. Keegan got pictures with it because he's Keegan. I couldn't have cared less if that cat was there or not. So,
Aaron, what is the care factor more, Taylor Swift in the football world or Pudge the Cat? Gotta pick one.
Gotta pick one. I guess Taylor, because she makes Travis happy and he donates money to the university. Pudge the Cat has nothing to do with the University of Cincinnati other than the fact that he just took a fat L.
Well, as we do every week, Ryan, I should have not brought up Pudge the Cat because you were in Hartford, Connecticut, so you did not get the up close and personal view. But either way, we were the superior feline on Saturday. Even though the Bearcat is not technically a cat, we could say we were more catty on Saturday. Ryan, you did take in the game, and you are a man of many, many knowledges when it comes to the sport of football. So what are some main takeaways? Obviously, I'm going to do some highs, do some lows. I've got a lot of stats lined up, but as far as just taking in the game, one that obviously had the chance to be like something like, oh, okay, a lot of positives. And then now it's a 14-point win against MAC school when you break it down to that core. But I guess just main takeaways.
We knew coming into the game, Bowling Green wasn't going to be just like, we're just going to walk all over them. They have a solid team, up and coming head coach. They like to run the ball. They're physical at the point of attack. I thought we did a decent job on defense. I thought the alley tackling, some of the tackling inside the tackle was a step down from the week at Nebraska. I also think that Bowling Green really didn't give us a chance from to cause much chaos in the passing game. I felt like our guys were always in a good place, making plays out on the perimeter, especially tackling after the catch right on the sideline. I thought our safeties played really well there, not as well like I was mentioning before, coming up in the run game. You saw a lot of guys taking bad angles, and there was a lot of pops for Bowling Green's running game more than I think the defense would have liked to allow. The offense, obviously, they filled up the stat sheet a lot more in the passing game than the week before. But if you really look at like what filled up those plays, it's just blown coverages by a lackluster secondary in Bowling Green, especially when comparing them to a Nebraska team. So yeah, you're like, oh wow, things look so much better. Like we're making big plays. Sorsby's throwing for over 300 yards, but like I never really felt like Sorsby ever like had to step up and make like a difficult throw until the fourth quarter. I was telling you guys before the show where he rolled out of the pocket on the run, hit the guy on the sideline. Other than that, like I didn't like see him do anything that was like that, like, oh, like I feel so much better about Brennan Sorsby in the passing game. He stepped up, made the throws he had to make, but I didn't feel like he was threading the needle and really showing himself for like what we're going to need from him as we get into Big 12 play, because guys aren't going to be running naked like they were, because they're going to be better players in the Big 12. So like, yes, the stat sheet's better, but I don't feel like our offensive passing game is anywhere fixed. Special teams, I mean, Fletcher looked like really good, some incredible punts. We had that one kickoff out of bounds, but you can tell special teams is still staying strong. But kind of like I said, a win's a win. You win at Nippert, and you need to do that every single game you play there. But it wasn't a game where I felt like, all right, like this team is like righted the ship after Nebraska, and go get the job done, and we're ready to go, like be world beaters in the Big 12. So have to see, man. Have to keep getting better. Got to make sure Dante stays healthy, because we know how much you could see the difference at the point of attack. Yeah, and you got a MAC team running for over 5 yards of carry on you. It's not a good sign. So need to make sure we keep him healthy.
Yeah, I mentioned it as well. In last week's pod against Nebraska, a big chunk of their big plays and some in pretty critical times came when Dante was on the sidelines. And obviously Dante won't be able to play every single snap, but yeah, we got to figure out a way to have him, available when needed. And because when he's on the field, it is a completely different defense. And the whole second half, he was obviously out with an injury. I would not chance it at all if against Northwestern State this weekend, especially if you got a bye coming up after that. If he's not all the way back 130%, so we'll see there. But yeah, I do agree on all those points. Aaron, Chad, anything to sparkle over ever since you finished up the aftermath a couple days ago, and now had a day and a half to digest it all?
Go ahead, Aaron.
I don't know. I mean, we talked at length about the defense still not being great, still being good at best right now. I think I'm probably feeling better about the defense today than I was when we did the aftermath. The aftermath, I was kind of just at them being average. I think they're probably better than average, but still, you can't. Almost 400 yards is an awful lot of yardage to give up. You just have to figure out ways to take the ball away, and no turnovers in 2 games is still just it's bothering me. Outside of that, I'm probably not as critical right now as I was in the aftermath about the run game. Just still wanting more, but happy that they got the pass game going. It just, like Brendan said in the post game, it'd be really nice if they had both going at the same time. And you kind of hope that you would have seen something like that against Bowling Green, but hats up to Bowling Green for taking one aspect of the offense away.
Yeah. We had a lot of like quick drives. So I think Bowling Green had you could probably say 2 extra possessions than they would have had if we weren't scoring at like when we did score, it was like quick. So I mean, time of possession, yeah, it does matter, but I do feel like there were definitely drives where our tackling, or there were a couple blown coverages like that, kind of like screen and go. They scored for a touchdown that you didn't really see us have versus Nebraska. And it does irk me seeing a lesser opponent kind of take advantage of us more than Nebraska was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like that second quarter has been really the bad quarter in 2 games straight now. The second quarter was where they struggled most in tackling, from what I saw anyway.
It felt like, Ryan, they were playing to the side of guys a lot more than they were playing head on. Would that be accurate?
In what?
Like tackling angles. They were tackling from the side and like sliding down guys. Felt like Nebraska, they were hitting guys square up, head on, strong form tackles.
Yeah.
Where it felt like Saturday there was a lot of like trying to, yank them down from the side.
It all starts at how you funnel the ball back to your defenders. And I thought that was something our safeties really struggled with in the alley. There's guys just running right around them, or they're trying to overcorrect, like you're saying, and they're coming too far to the outside. And now the guy's able to kind of just shake off them and get an extra 2 yards. There were times I felt like our linebackers weren't triggering that fast downhill, but then you have stuff like Jake O'Day showing up all over the stat sheet. For some reason, I'm like, did Bowling Green just say, hey, we're not going to block this guy like whenever he's on the line of scrimmage? So like he had a great game. I think some of his best plays he made were like undercutting blocks and still making the tackle, just shedding off. But like obviously everyone's going to like think about those sacks, but in reality, they were just free releasing him to the quarterback. But
they were,
I think,
off the edge every single time. He was untouched.
So I
would try to block that
to happen. Yeah, I think a better team isn't going to let that happen. I think once they see him make plays like that, he's become more of a fixture. So we need him to keep playing well and to still be able to stand out, because right now the defense is it's a Corleone defense, and then Corleone's Batman. Golday's established himself as Robin 100%. So he's playing better than I thought he was going to play. So
he leads the nation in tackles. I'd go a little higher than Robin.
Well, you got the Godfather. Godfather's Batman.
He
of
leads
this
the
defense.
nation in tackles.
Batman
a little bit more than Robin.
Batman and Superman, maybe Superman.
Okay.
Yeah, like Batman and Superman.
I'm not a big comic book guy, but I could say Batman and Superman. But we need all of the Avengers together on defense.
Now you're just crossing DC and the MCU. What are we doing?
I really enjoyed that movie Endgame. I saw it in theaters. The crowd was going nuts.
Yes,
fourth quarter at Nippert Stadium in 2021. So yes, I thank you for bringing up Jake Golday. I'm going to talk about him. Right, like he looks like the prototypical bona fide defensive linebacker at NFL status. Like he's playing like it as well. He's, like Chad has mentioned numerous times, he was a very keep it quiet. Don't let anyone know. We don't want it to come out that we are about to go hard after this guy from Central Arkansas, hopefully sign him and bring him in and convert him from a rush end to a linebacker, where he is a former basketball player, has a lot of athleticism, and can really bring a lot to the table. He's starting to play without thinking, year 2 in the system. And you do see, just statistically, it's all the linebackers making a lot of plays, which is, I guess, what you want in this 3-3-5. But Jake Golday, like Chad said, he's, leads the team in sacks. He is, and which, by the way, guys, 7 sacks through 2 games. I mean, 9 sacks all last season. It's a doggone good thing to have that sort of thing going on. Golday's playing fantastic. He had a touchdown saving block on a run that Royer was kind of mentioning, where the safeties kind of didn't really fit well, and the running back was able to bounce it out to the outside, and he was able to chase him down, push him out of bounds before he kept on going. Had that 4th down and 2 tackle where he came streaming down the line off the edge and was able to bring down the running back for a gain of 1. Sadly, Pryor did fumble a couple of plays later, and they were able to score immediately. But it was awesome to see Golday kind of pick up the slack. It seems like Bartlett was that player last year, and the year before, obviously, a couple years before was Ivan Pace. Just kind of really fit the mold of that type of playmaking linebacker that they have. I thought Jonathan Thompson had a really good start to the year as well. And then how about Jack Dingle had his highest rating PFF performance as a Bearcat this past week. I mean, he had a sack.
21 sacks last year, Brent, by the way.
Oh, 21 sacks
last year.
Where was I at with the 9? Maybe the year before?
I don't know.
I know they were like really bad.
9 was way too low. But 21's not great. Like,
I'm thinking interceptions, but yeah, sorry, 21.
Yeah,
but 7 through 2 games, and you finish with 21 all of last year. That's pretty doggone good. But I don't know. It seems like the D line struggles a bit when Dante's not in there. But I wanted to give a bit of flowers to Golday before we moved on. Let's talk about pass defense. Chad and Aaron, Royer, I don't know if you're able to tune into the aftermath or not, but Chad and Aaron kind of had a little bit of a discourse about yardage and completion percentage allowed and whatnot, and how you're kind of going to give those up and when you play the 3-3-5, the bend but don't break type scenario. But I mean,
it can't be that high. Like,
right.
I'm just saying there's going to be some quick stuff that is allowed against a 3-3-5 stack. Like it's going to be there underneath. If teams are willing to be patient, they're going to have that ability. That gets back into, though, when we talked about the tackling. If you keep the play in front of you and you tackle better, they're not sitting as many of those 3rd and 1s and 3rd and 2s where they make a quick throw and they get the first down. There needs to be more third. Like when they had Bowling Green in 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, they did a good job getting off the field. When it was 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, they didn't. So a lot of that comes back to tackling, and a lot of it also, if you're going to run this scheme, you better be able to turn the ball over. Like, if you're going to make teams go 11, 12, 13, 14 plays down the field, at some point in time, you got to take it away from them. No turnovers through 2 games is the most, like, flashing red light of concern for this defense, because, like, Jaden Daniels, like, super high completion percentage. He's going to move that Kansas offense efficiently. If you're giving him 3 5-yard, 6-yard throws, he's going to take them all day.
Yeah.
And if you don't turn him over, you're screwed. You're not going to stop that offense.
Same as Rocco Beck, the same as Sawyer Robertson. I mean, these
Josh
are
Hoover.
some very tough opponents to face when I've got to pull it a second to last in college football in passing completion percentage allowed, 78.5%. And last place is Nevada. But so far through 2 games, the teams that Cincinnati have played have had 25 more pass attempts against them than last place Nevada. So that's that's just an alarming number to me. You look at it, only 1 game last season did Cincinnati allow for a quarterback to throw for 69% or more in the single game, and that was Shedeur Sanders for Colorado had 80.6% on 31 pass attempts. Dylan Raiola, 78.6% on 42 pass attempts, and Mr. Pine, Mr. Ryan Royer, you're able to sit down and figure out the game plan against Mr. Pine when you faced him at Notre Dame back in 2021. Wild, but he was 80.6%. Yeah, he was 80.6% on 36 pass attempts this past Saturday. Royer, give me an X and O's response to, is it okay that, like, those are a lot of pass attempts and a very high percent completion rate at this point?
I'm not that worried about it, because I thought a lot of his passes were just dink and dunk underneath. You throw in some screens in there. There's one of those catches down the sidelines, that number 11 dude made a really good play. That was his best ball of the day. And then you have his probably one of, if not top 3 yardage, was that blown coverage on their first touchdown down into the student section. So this defensive scheme, it works if you don't allow the big play, which I think we've done for the most part. It works if you can find a way to catch the offense off guard by creating a chaotic blitz in some way, which I thought we've done a better job of this season. But it also really works when the offense is playing complementary football to it. If you're going to play like a defense and say, hey, right now we're going to keep guys in front of us, we're going to let these guys try to go down the field, but we're going to make them beat us. We're going to wait for them to make a mistake in some regards. That works if the offense can string together first downs, they can string together points, they can flip the field, so that's the only way this philosophy on defense is going to truly help win you games, especially if you're not if you're not finding ways to create chaos with turnovers or sacks, negative yardage plays. So, and that's like what you saw with Nebraska. The defense played well, and they had 2 opportunities to go out there and help propel us to a win. But it's really it's sitting around and waiting for the offense to come score points, string together first downs, establish drives, and that's what we're going to need to see come Big 12. If the offense and defense aren't playing in sync, then our opponent is going to double us in time of possession, and they're going to have control of the game. They're going to have control of the field position. They're going to have control of the scoreboard. So until I think the defense has done its job for the most part. I think they did. I think they played better versus Nebraska. I think the offense played better in the passing game versus Bowling Green, but it doesn't say much. So once you have all 3 phases, if you have all phases of offense working with all phases of defense, that's what we're going to need to be able to go win a lot of these coin flip games, because we say that over and over how close the competition's going to be, and by all in all, it's going to be better than Bowling Green. So that's kind of my 50 cents on that.
But what do you do, Ryan, against a team? You guys saw this a lot, that just wants to come out and fight. I thought Bowling Green was super chippy, and I thought Cincinnati struggled with it a little bit early. They came out and they were like, look, you're not pushing us around. We don't care if we're in the MAC. We're going to talk. We're going to get a little chippy. I don't know that it was something that overwhelmed Cincinnati, but I do think it was something that you have a fine line to walk on handling a team that wants to make a game chippy.
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of the Tulsa team.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that, where it was kind of like, hey, we're going to make this FU football. We're going to try to get under your pads, run the ball at you. And we're going to go to the echo of the whistle. And, if for some reason you're not ready for that on any given Saturday, and you kind of get popped a little bit and you got to adjust, but it's kind of all right, it's a war. I mean, it's kind of like, when Kobe Bryant would call up the defense in that Houston game. It's something similar along those lines. All right, motherfuckers, they want to go. It's time to go. We can't let these guys establish the physicality of the game.
But you also have to be careful to not give them what they want.
Yeah.
And get over chippy and get into, penalties, and it can take you out of your game if you don't handle it well.
Yeah. And that's all about leadership in coaches, leadership, especially with your players. I know we've talked to so many guys and how important that is. And they, list back on all these memories of guys being able to, call up their teammates and everyone being accountable to that stuff. So you never want to be in a situation where you're taken by surprise by a team's physicality. But inevitably it will happen sometimes, especially when you're playing a smaller school, but still, I think a quality opponent. They have decent
They were big.
players. Yeah, they were big. They they had tough players. They have a tough ass head coach who wants to run the ball. So I would have been a lot more pleased if we would have tackled better. I think I wasn't expecting us to come in and hold them to like under 100 yards rushing. Like it's their bread and butter. They're going to run the ball. They're going to have some success, but it's if you take away some of those missed tackles, I think you look at a way better performance from our defense.
I agree. As far as just gonna kind of wrap it up defensively. The third down percentage, obviously Nebraska really inflated this number. Did you feel like they did a better job this past weekend of getting off the field defensively when a third down presented itself? I mean, it's just kind of nitpicking, but they are one of the worst in the country, or they're bottom third in the country in third down percentage. I think a lot of it probably has to do with a lot of the dinking and dunking that has happened so far. 115th in third down completion allowed. A new one.
Got to get off the field.
I thought, there's a lot. I think we got off the field decent because they had a lot of punts. They went for field goals.
They were 6 of 16 on third down.
Yeah,
I thought they should have gone for some of those fourth downs, especially the in the second quarter when it was like 4th and 4 in Cincinnati territory. They elected to punt, and then we got the ball back with 3 timeouts and just decided to kneel it. But that's a different conversation. But I thought they were better, but it definitely needs to be a little bit more than what they've done. Got to get off the field. Defensively, anything more, Royer, Aaron, Chad?
No, I think we hit most of it.
Yeah.
We didn't have a great really look at the cornerback depth. I didn't think they really tested UC outside much. I mean, Logan Wilson was out.
Yeah.
You saw a lot of Daniel James, a lot of Ormani Arnold. But I didn't think we really learned a whole lot.
No.
Because they didn't really throw it out wide at all.
I think they knew. I think Bowling Green had a plan. Like, let's take what Cincinnati's going to give us, and they were probably banking on their run game to chew clock. And a lot of those drives where they were at 4th and 2, 4th and 1, and Eddie George was going with his Jim Tressel football.
Yeah.
Well, he was before Jim Tressel actually, but anyway, that he was playing it safe, trying to hope that they could. They were controlling the time of possession. They just couldn't stop those big plays. But I think they were really just saying, "Hey, Cincinnati's going to give us holes in their zone coverage. Let's try to take advantage of them and grind the clock down and keep drives going with the run game." But it didn't really work out.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback on the turnover thing, one of the 11 teams in the nation that does not have a turnover so far through 2 games. Or 3 games, or 1 game if you're Notre Dame. And then only 4 other Power 4 schools don't have a turnover, which is Michigan. Not Michigan. Purdue, UCLA, Oklahoma, and Duke. Oklahoma played Michigan. That's why that was on my mind. But yeah, Purdue, UCLA, Oklahoma, Duke. So not necessarily the class you want to be in. So hopefully some chaotic turnovers produced against Northwestern State, and they are. Do you guys want to guess what their mascot is?
No clue.
I don't remember.
The Cardinals.
Oh, very far away, very cold. The Demons.
Ooh, scary.
Bring them in, baby. Bring them in. They're down.
Not a color, like not a blue demon, orange demon, just a regular nasty old demon.
We are demons. Just the demon. And Roy, I don't know if you followed their score at all against Minnesota, but it was the second quarter, trickling down before halftime. It was 59-0 against Minnesota. Guess what the live spread was? Yeah. Guess what the live spread was? 82.5.
Wow.
I mean, pound that. Pound it.
Did you lay the points?
Yeah, obviously. And I did with us too. A lot. at 21.5 and at 23.5. Loved us coming into the game. But anyway, let's roll on to offense. Sorsby, obviously, Ryan, you kind of mentioned it already. A lot better day passing the football. I thought it was cool to get to see the new weapons as well. They were kind of held pretty much to nothing against Nebraska, but gotta like what you see out of Jeff Caldwell. Not only the awesome catch on the sideline, but that second, third, and fourth effort and on the touchdown that he had. Didn't
I
really
still have
love
no clue how he got that to the end zone.
I know.
I did not love the play calls, but hey, you know what? If it works, then you gotta love it, I guess. And so hey, here we are, loving it. I thought, obviously it was good to see Goody get involved. Jennings had a couple good plays. Noah Jennings, it's out there for a lot of snaps. So I think they like some of the other things that he's able to do other than just hauling passes. 2 catches for 104 yards on 2 targets. Royer, your cousin had a good day.
Yeah, they're just letting him run free there. His second catch, he kind of shook the safety, had the safety flat-footed, or that his first one. I think that was his first one, actually, because I was going down towards the student section.
Yeah,
he had, and that was
74 yard or whatever.
Yeah, that was good. The stats good. He made a good play on his first one. The second one, it was just like no one was covering him, just pitch and catch, backyard football.
Yeah.
But yeah, it all looks good, but where is he going to be at 3rd and 7? Are we going to be able to find a way to get him the ball? Can he get open? Can Sorsby find him? In the fourth quarter when we're down 3, trying to go in and take the lead and win versus Kansas. Same with all the weapons. It's good to watch them go out and make plays, but are the coaches going to be able to put them in the position to make a play? Will they make it? Will Sorsby see him and be able to deliver the ball in critical points? And that
Right.
We're going to need that. And I don't think that's going to be happening next week. That's going to be over in that brand new Kansas stadium. That's where we're going to need to see this. So I don't really have much to say on the offense. Like, yeah, it's good,
Right.
but I think a lot of the good was just kind of Bowling Green being bad. So
Right.
I'm not on the offense train at all. So
I agree. Chad and Aaron, DeAndre Buford, it says he only had 9 snaps. It had to be more than 9, right?
It felt like, I noticed Ethan Green out there, but I didn't notice him out there that much. But
Right.
It's crazy.
usually those things are right. So
So it says Ethan Green had 46 snaps. And then Loza Wiki was out there as well for Tangastal. Obviously, in the post-game presser, it was just saying they want to get more snaps, get everyone involved, this, that, and the other. Do you think that is truly all it was? It seems like Ethan Green and Loza Wiki had some good performances when they were out there.
you didn't really notice either of them, so that's usually a good sign. I watched Green a little bit just kind of to see how he was holding up. If he figures it out, like, he is prototypical right tackle.
Yeah,
Big, moves pretty well. I know their biggest concern was just getting him to bend a little bit better, which is, he's like 6'7", 6'8". Like, that's not super easy for a guy that size to really be able to, like, get down in a pass blocking stance. But I think Tengastal is the left guard until, like, I don't foresee a change there.
Yeah.
If Ethan Green can make a move here, I think he can win that job. Like, if they continue to give him a chance to win that job, I think he can. It's just a matter of going out there and performing well when you're given the opportunity. So, I've always thought Buford was probably best inside at guard. He's played tackle because he's kind of had to, because they haven't had great options at that right tackle spot. I think this is legitimately a chance for Ethan Green, an opportunity for Ethan Green to earn that spot, which would be outstanding if he can step in and win that job. You've got him for a couple more years. Like that could be very beneficial to Nick Cardwell in this offensive line. So we'll see there. I mean, I think Buford's a guy he had a really bad first year. I thought he was okay last year. Like you didn't notice him a lot. You didn't notice him getting beat a lot. So I think he's fine there, but I don't think there's a ton of upside at right tackle for DeAndre Buford. I do think with Ethan Green, there is a substantial amount of upside. So, that right tackle spot is definitely one to at least keep an eye on. I know with Lozowicki, like he can play right guard, he can play left guard, he can play center a little bit if you need him in a pinch. Like there was definitely a desire to get him reps because you're going to need it. At some point in time, at one of those spots, there's going to be movement, be it injury or a guy, slumping a little bit or whatever the case may be. Like, I don't think that was a matter of, I think from talking to people in the program, I think Tengestal's been fine through the first 2 games. I don't think there's been any issues there. So I don't think that's a matter of like, that one is really at a point yet where maybe somebody else is going to be starting. But I do know, like, if Lozowicki is going to be the swing guy in different spots, you got to get him on the field because you don't want to get to week 7, something happens and you got to throw him in and
with zero
snaps under his belt. So I think both of those were in that realm, but I think it's much more likely that you could see a change at right tackle than you would at left guard.
Yeah.
Before you told me the difference in snap count, I took coach's word for it, and just that they were trying to get Ethan Green some snaps at the position, and knowing the disparity was what you said, 46-9.
Yeah.
That tells me that's probably a little bit more than just trying to get him reps out there. And I think that you couple that with the fact that the Bearcats did receive the award for the best offensive line in the conference. I think that there's something to be said for Ethan Green in there at right tackle. And it's not as if I don't think Buford was doing a bad job, but I do recall his number being called for at least one false start in the last 2 weeks. So I don't.
I'm not going to hold anybody.
That's not a big deal. If it's one or two.
I'm not holding anybody
especially at Arrowhead.
For what happened in Arrowhead.
Sure.
Nobody's getting an X on their report card for Arrowhead.
You didn't.
I'm surprised there weren't more than 4 false starts at Arrowhead.
We
you
didn't
have told
notice
me there was 12, and I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We didn't notice DeAndre Buford really standing out as somebody who was letting a lot of pressure get past him or anything like that. But kind of what Chad was saying, we've seen Ethan Green around here for long enough to know that there's certainly some upside to his size, what he can give you at tackle. So I think it's interesting to see that we're seeing an in-season battle right now at the position, even if the coaches aren't saying it.
Yeah. You wonder if that had anything at all to do with, it probably doesn't, but with the lack of success running the football with the running backs. But who knows? Maybe. But I was going to say one thing before I pass it down to you about running backs, but one of my superlatives, the very fun superlatives that we did a couple weeks ago, very, very fun superlatives, was that Tobby Walker would lead the team in carries, but would not lead the team in rushing yards or rushing touchdowns. Right now, that superlative's looking pretty damn good. Royer, take it away. Thoughts on the running back.
That goes right into my. We cannot have Brennan Sorsby continue to be the leading rusher on this team. As great as it is,
Sorsby leads in attempts, in yards, in average, and in touchdowns.
Yeah, that's a problem. I don't think that's good for
Jackson.
Yeah, he's a great athlete, and that's like I love that. I don't think that any of those yards is that we're not calling enough rush attempts for our running backs. It's that we're not. I don't think for any reason should we have taken a step backwards in between the tackles running the football against Bowling Green than we did versus Nebraska. So I don't know. Maybe you might say maybe that might be why they put in Ethan Green. Maybe they weren't liking the type of rush blocking out of Buford, and they might have been seeing something in Arrowhead, and then this week, after first couple plays or first couple drives, that they're like, and I thought the run game when they were really getting out there, kind of a little bit of a stretch to the right at the point of the tackle. That seemed to work in the second half. They were getting some gashes with that, but I don't know. I mean, we got to find a way to get, Tawi in that 70 to 80, Pryor in that 50 to 60, and, with their 25 to 30 attempts, and there has to be consistent success there, because we can't rely on Brennan Sorsby, scrambling around and making plays with his legs. One, it's not always teams are going to pick up on it. Two, I don't think it's great for his, we don't want him getting hurt. He is, as great as Lichtenberg is, we need Brennan Sorsby to be our everyday quarterback.
Yeah.
I think Bowling Green was much more loaded up to stop the run and had players more capable of stopping the run than Nebraska. I was not impressed by Nebraska's front six at all. I mean, I just didn't think that was a strength of their. I thought that was probably the weakest part of their team that I saw, was their ability to move the point of attack up front. I didn't think they were good at it in really any phase that we saw in that game. I thought it was much more of a priority for Bowling Green. And I will say, I think the biggest difference, Ryan, Bowling Green's strength was their two linebackers, and those two linebackers' strength was run defense.
Yeah.
So those two guys were filling gaps every time Cincinnati tried to run the ball. I just thought Bowling Green was much more built to stop the run than Nebraska was, I guess is the easiest way to put it. But also, Bowling Green's secondary was significantly worse than Nebraska's secondary. So you're going to lean into what you're good at more often than not.
I just know how important the run game is for us.
Yeah.
And no matter how good.
Small sample size. You were playing against a team whose focus was, and I would imagine rightfully so, after watching the Nebraska game, we're going to do everything we can to stop the run. And we'll let them pass.
Hey,
they did just that.
3 bills plus, baby. I mean, Nebraska, they dominated Akron, fellow MAC team, although Akron's pretty damn terrible, so can't really quite make those comparisons. But yeah, it just like you're saying, Royer, and we can't really give much credence to but look at what they did against Northwestern State. Todd, we had 130 on the ground, and Pryor had 108. Yeah, we gotta.
We might. I got yelled at this for my comments. Somebody was mad at me for my comments after the game. We got to talk about Evan Pryor. He's had 2 notable plays so far this year. Yeah. A stone cold drop on a huge gainer screenplay, and a fumble that completely switched the momentum of that game. It was 24-3 when he fumbled, and Cincinnati never got momentum back after that. He has 2 bad plays in 2 games, and really nothing super positive to deflect from those 2 bad plays. Like, it has to be talked about.
Yeah, and he did have 1 carry against Bowling Green where it was kind of shades of last year, where
before the fumble
he makes that one-man miss and he's off to the races. But yeah, and then there's the 1 play against Nebraska, his first carry, where Royer and I were like, "Boy, he is shifty." But yeah, the 2 plays definitely. The drop is one where he turned
his head before he caught the ball,
and looks, and then But yeah, the fumble is something, especially because we see how difficult it is to force turnovers. Yeah,
Impossible, some might say.
we don't want to be giving the ball away. I think yes, more so, but he's only carried the ball 11 times. It's not like they're force feeding him.
He's carried the ball 11 times and he's had 2
Yeah,
plays.
right. And Tawi's got 18 carries. I think the proof is kind of there that they want Tawi to kind of assume a larger role. So and have the
We
home
want the
run
power
hitting
guy to have
ability.
the ball more, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I do.
Yeah. We'll see. Real quick, special teams. Offense, Sorsby, good job. Give hats to him. He his highest at whoever goes by PFF, but they're one of the only grading scales out there. So he had a damn high score. I think his highest as ever.
Second best in the Big 12 this week.
Second best in the Big 12. He did pretty much all he could to really prove that all the haters after 69 passing yards, nice. But and as Aaron mentioned, Scott Springer with quite the question in the old presser. Kind of just trails off and lets Sorsby take it away. But hey, Sorsby took it with at speed and was able to answer it nicely. But special teams, Rusnick, 14 straight field goals made going back into last year. Fletch, only a couple punts, but good yardage, good job, good coverage. Gunners, how about the Gunners, baby? What was it? I said we're going to talk about the Gunners here on the pod because we're the number one Gunner pod in the country, in the world. So good job, Gunners. They did let up that one big kickoff return, but that's about it.
That was I watched that. It was right in front of me, watching how the play was designed.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati had been kicking to that side of the field. I thought whoever Bowling Green special teams coach was came up with a really good return because Cincinnati did a good job staying gap contained.
Yeah.
And making sure that they had him hemmed in over there. But, and I can't remember who it was. I think one of them was Sabor. They sent a guy in to crack it, and then a guy coming behind him to make the tackle, and Bowling Green slid a guy over and caught that second guy as well, where you could tell Cincinnati was like baiting them into 2 guys, 1 blocker, and Bowling Green got that second blocker over to pop him to the outside to get the yardage. So I thought it was good special teams design on the return, especially when Cincinnati had been kicking to that left side pretty regularly when they kicked off. So looked like Bowling Green dialed something up, but you kick a ball out of bounds, then you give up a 38-yard return.
Mm-hmm.
Your pretty good special teams day turns into, there's a little bit to work on.
Yeah.
A little bit to work on.
Agreed. But Bowling Green, I think one of the only coaches they retained from the new coaching staff was their special teams coordinator. So I think
they opened the year last year and this year
with a kickoff
return for a touchdown.
Yeah. That's hard to do.
That's usually some pretty good scheming.
Hard to do.
And I thought they schemed that one up because I was watching specifically like on the returns, how like were they really doing something that looked a little bit different or whatever, and yeah, I agree. It's hard to get a kickoff return unless your name's Trey Tucker, Marty Gilliard. Shouts to Trey Tucker, touchdown in week 1 for the Raiders. Some might say Geno Smith, might say that he reminds him of Santana Moss. Interesting. But hey, bodes well for him. Hey, the boy AP, friend of the show, my best friend, as well as Ryan Royer's best friend. Actually, Ryan Royer's best friend.
Big jump ball catch. He's making those 36+ yard catches pretty daggone easy. Danny Dimes looking like a boy up there in Indianapolis. So shouts to the Bearcats in the NFL. But let's go ahead and timestamp this and let's start riffing.
This timestamp brought to you by Quick Paper Supply, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. Quick Paper services over 150 restaurants with weekly low minimum next day deliveries, providing a wide range of food service products from to-go containers, cups, custom printed products, eco-friendly, and much more. They also have cleaning and restroom supplies for all your janitorial needs. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases.
Boom, baby.
All right, boys.
Bada boom. Let's do it.
So, we saw some of Cyrus Allen kind of be targeted in some points in that Nebraska game. Then you see a lot of the receivers start to make some plays on this Saturday, even though, a lot of it was Bowling Green being bad. But who do you want to see get targeted more? And who would be your go-to guy going into Kansas that you think we should look to get the rock to and make or break moments on offense? The receiver position.
I think it's been pretty clear so far that he has the most ability to create separation and get open and be able to make a play. So I would say comfortably Cyrus right now.
Aaron?
I want to see somebody targeted more. I want Joe Royer targeted more. My goodness. Yeah. I mean, two catches for 104 yards is impressive, albeit against Bowling Green. But we said it even after the Nebraska game that Joe Royer probably should have been targeted more. You have to get playmakers the ball, and Joe Royer is a playmaker, plain and simple.
Aaron, I do think, though, teams are going to do everything to take Joe Royer away until Cincinnati proves that they have enough other guys that you can't just bracket Joe Royer.
Well, then
that's partially on the offense to get more guys involved so that the defense has to show more respect to the other guys than to just say, we're putting 2 on Royer and the rest of your guys don't scare us.
Well, then based on what we've seen, Brent's got the one that you probably would have been my honorable mention, but I'm not going to take that from him.
Well, I mean, you can take whatever you want from me because you're my.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, pause, dude. Like, I don't know where you're going with that, but what I was gonna say was, a wise man, a very, 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 very wise man once said that there is no way to word it other than the passing offense and the offense as a whole needs to take a big step forward in week 2. Brendan Sorsby showed that he's a gamer by using his legs to keep the team in the game until the end. But in the weekly press conference, you could sense that he wants to get not only tight end Joe Royer more involved, but all of the pass catchers. I see the passing game having a big day featuring the new weapons who were nearly silenced a little over a week ago. Wow. Smart man wrote that. Very smart man said that. And he did it. He spread that ball around, toe to the rock, if you will. I do want to see a little bit more for Caldwell. But all in all, kind of with what Chad's saying, like that second touchdown to Cyrus Allen, like that's like Sorsby rolling out and like in his mind knowing that if he puts it right here, like I thought that Bowling Green defender had an easier path to the ball than Cyrus Allen did. So that was just a perfect pass where Sorsby kind of just knows where his guy is and just throws it there, and Cyrus comes up with the catch. So obviously the connection is there with Cyrus, but I mean Caldwell's just got so much length and so much ability even after the catch, as we saw with his touchdown. So sprinkle in a couple more targets there. But yeah, I mean, if those 3 can really take that next step up with Royer getting more as well, then it'll be harder for teams to combat against that. So we'll take one of each. Good job, guys. And I'll say Caldwell.
Great. All right. With the lack of turnovers being caused on defense, do you guys think that Tyson Veit is not turning up the dial enough with enough pressures, kind of taking a gamble to try to, force the quarterback into a tough decision or like the opportunity for a strip sack?
See, I mean, go ahead, Brent.
I was actually going to ask you this, Royer, in our game recap thing. It seems like the only time that pressure is on the quarterback is when we do send a blitz. So
makes sense when you're going 3-on-5, though.
yes, exactly. So I mean, should probably send a blitz every single play, right? Or at least send a no. I'm saying like obvious passing down scenario is what I'm saying. Like I don't know. Because if not,
I would constitute a blitz on our defense as sending 5 players.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, the Big 12, these quarterbacks will if the tape is out and Northwestern State's even able to complete 50% of their passes, then they'll say, "Oh wow, we can really just slowly carve up this defense if we just take what's given to us." So I do think you need more havoc, and like you mentioned, I don't think they're going to let Golday come free release every single time. So, I think something needs to be dialed up a lot on obvious passing downs.
I just wonder if they shortened the cushion that the corners and safeties are giving, where it looks to be roughly about anywhere between 7 to 10 yards of cushion on even on passing downs. And I know you're playing different zones and what have you, but I don't know if you're playing that far off. I would think it would be a little bit harder to get a pick when they're doing these quick reads and kind of the intermediate stuff that Cincinnati's lacking on offense, by the way. They're doing those things to eat up the defense, and that's why you're seeing the 75 to 80% completion percentages up as high when you're only throwing these 4 or 5 yard passes. I don't know. Maybe if you had a smaller cushion, you're able to get hands on the ball a little bit more frequently.
We're having an entirely different conversation if Cincinnati doesn't try to scoop and score a fumble and just falls on the ball against Nebraska. Yeah. If Logan Wilson grabs the pick six, if Trey Gala-Collard is able to grab the interception. Now, granted, that was a pretty tough play where he's dropping back into that zone and goes up and gets his hand on the ball and is trying to tip it to himself. But if they've got 3 turnovers right now, we're not having as much of a focus on the fact that they've got none. The problem is they've had 3 opportunities, very clear opportunities for turnovers that they're 0-3 on. So if that, there's not going to be 6-7 times in a game you've got an opportunity to get a turnover, right?
Yeah, I know. I was just using that as
no. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, they have to capitalize when those opportunities arise, and then it's not as much of a problem. But what we have seen so far is they're not opportunistic when the opportunity presents itself. And that is as big a problem as anything. You're only going to get a couple opportunities a game where the quarterback makes a big mistake and throws it somewhere that you can get it. Or especially if you're not going to be a team that just creates a ton of havoc, getting the quarterback out of the pocket and making him scramble, making him make tough reads and tough throws. You've got to take advantage when the opportunity is there. And right now they're not. And that is just as big a problem as anything so far with this defense, is that the opportunities have been there and they haven't capitalized on them. You could even talk about in the Nebraska game, the fumble bouncing towards the sideline and nobody's able to take it away. Mm-hmm. Look, guys, I don't know what they are not going, and they're not going to play 3 yards off the receiver to the field in zone hardly ever. They're just not. It's there's too much space over there. You're asking to get beat over the top, and then they get beat over the top, and the question is, how did that happen? Why did that? Well, it's because the guy in the zone was too close to the line of scrimmage. He gets beat over the top, and there's an easy throw down the field. Yeah. That in the zone that they run, the field corner, maybe you could argue they should be 5 yards off instead of 7 or 8. Maybe they will look, Satterfield had said in the post game, that's something that they'll look at, that maybe they're giving a little bit too much room. But if you expect them to be in press or bump and run coverage and be right at the line of scrimmage, you're not going to get that. It's just not.
I wasn't making an argument for that.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying in general. Like Reed in the comments over here is, there's going to be a little bit of a cushion to the field corner in passing downs against the zone. Like it's just, you don't have Sauce and Kobe where you can just, hey, play press and the other 9 guys will play zone. And we don't have to worry about, because then what happens is then your safety is more required to be to that area so that if something does get past him, that there's more help deep over the top to the field side where there's, 3 wide receivers and a lot of open space to the field. You can talk about it better than me, Ryan, but people that are expecting that are going to be disappointed because there is going to be some cushion to the field side on passing downs in that zone.
Yes. And so I threw in the turnovers in the part of the question because, you can a lot of times you can correlate like, chaotic. When you cause chaos on defense, you're getting sacks, you're getting quarterback pressures, you're causing the quarterback to be confused on what kind of coverage he's in, sometimes I just get a little concerned with our style even now because there's ways to play zone where you're not like super soft. There's ways you could play cover 2 where you're 2-man or you're Tampa 2, like the coverage that Nebraska beat us on. Ways you can disguise things and kind of take risks. And it hasn't killed us, but sometimes I'm just like, I get concerned because there seems to be still a little bit of a, like, I don't know if I want to take a gamble on these guys yet from Tyson Vite's perspective. And that makes me think, are we not that good and we just got to play safe all year? Or I don't know. We'll have to see.
I'm interested in your thought. How much does having that third safety instead of a nickel corner change that?
Change to the field coverage?
The way that you're defending that, like the way that you're aligning in those situations, because you've got a safety in the slot as opposed to a nickel corner.
I think it doesn't really change the philosophy of the coverage. It's mainly personnel, like what their capabilities are, like what they're good at. You have a corner. He's probably going to be a little bit better in a tight space coverage on, like, especially, dude, that's the hardest thing in the world to play off ball, like man or man zone. And, if you're running zone, I think it's a lot more beneficial to have a safety in that position, but it also gives more space. So that's why you had a guy like Arquan Bush who played corner, and we could just throw him in there at nickel, and it was like he could do both. He could stop the run. He was physical enough to stop screens, but he was also good enough to be off-man coverage. People don't talk about Arquan Bush enough, how good he was, because he was overshadowed by, 2 of the best to ever do it. So that's like, obviously we had great players.
That's why that was the best secondary in the country.
Yeah.
Because it was all 3 corners and both safeties were elite.
Yeah. We had great players, but we also developed them really well, and we developed a really good scheme around them. So the first 2, like, everyone always says like, oh, like we were so good back in the day because we just had the best players. Like all those players were guys that are lower ranking than all the players we have on the team now. They were developed, and the scheme was developed. Remember, we started with the 4 down front.
They missed on Sauce's ranking. I think that's fair.
Yeah. we developed that defense around our strength because we knew we had good enough D linemen that we could play 3 up front. We had good enough linebackers that they could play in space in the pass game, in space in the run game.
Well,
and we knew we had guys that could just shut down on the outside. That's why I get a little bit concerned. It's like, how much development are we having, and how much scheme development are we bringing alongside with that overall player skill development? So it's the responsibility of Satterfield and Veit to put the best players out there, make sure that they're getting better year in and year out, and to then wrap the scheme around what makes the defense succeed. And sometimes I get concerned if we just keep seeing, week in and week out, we got to play safe with these guys. Like, I think they've dialed up the pressures more this year, and I like, but sometimes it's like, all right, there's a lot of cushion, and the other team just has the ball for a long time, and we haven't gotten killed on it yet, but it's sometimes we need to. I feel like let's go make our own luck, and let's blitz twice as much and see.
I will say though, you guys didn't have to worry about the zone man thing because you could just play man with those three guys.
Yeah.
We're still in a 3-3-5, but we're in a 3-3-5 where we play predominantly with our corners. We play man. Like the safeties might be in, 2 deep or whatever support, but you didn't have to drop those corners into coverage. You could just say, I got you, and we'll worry about the rest like as the chips fall, because we don't think your 3 guys can beat our 3 guys.
Yes. And
I don't know that they have that here.
But all those guys, you should have saw them when they came into our program.
I know.
Kobe played safety. It was him and Derek Forrest were our freshman safeties.
I know.
Arquan played corner. They were developed and they were taught, and they then proved themselves to be good by the work that they put in. Even Ahmad had, out of all those guys, Ahmad was the most like physically gifted, like frame wise, but still he had to freaking work his ass off
to be able to 27 pounds
to look like he even belonged on the field and not at like a middle school football team. And I think sometimes that gets caught up in the wash with people that follow the team. It's like, well, Fickle just had like the easiest ride ever. That's why we won all those games. And like Satterfield just doesn't have the same amount of players. Like you have to that falls on the responsibility of the players and the coaches to develop themselves, to improve, develop their bodies, their minds, to be able to go out there and be a better football player and be a better defense. So, I don't think that should just be like washed under the rug. Let's keep trying to develop these guys and test their ability. And if they really aren't capable, and that would make me afraid if they're incapable of, hey, let's send 6 guys here and kind of put someone on an island and see if they can cover a guy for 1.5 seconds before the quarterback can get the ball out. Like, I want to see a little bit more of that.
I do think with Golday playing like he's played, I think maybe you can be a little bit more daring.
Yeah.
Because I think you feel like if you send Golday, there's a pretty good chance he's gonna, if he ain't getting all the way home, he's gonna disrupt something drastically. Especially if they decide not to cover him like Bowling Green did.
You know what I would love? I would love do it so much. Field pressure, have Dante line head up or shade to the boundary. Bring him into the field A gap alongside with that side DN. Send Dingle strong side. Send Golday strong side. Overload those fucking 3 offensive linemen if you count the center there. And yeah, let's see what you can do. Seriously, how are you going to stop Dante? Then you're having Dingle's taking a guy or Golday's taking a guy. I like them in there with our DN. And let's just say, all right, try to pick one of them up with the back and do that more. I would love to see. Yeah, keep doing it and do it a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
And there's ways to fold off that, because then you can put Dingle and Golday up on the line of scrimmage, consistently confuse the quarterback, and that's how you can get Golday with his athleticism dropping off the line of scrimmage and scream right into that little hole shot and get a pick. It's just I don't want it to sound like I think they're doing like a bad job, but just stressing the emphasis on how we have the players, and let's kind of pin our ears back a little bit more and go make something happen. Yeah. We're going to need it in the Big 12.
Oh yeah. Agreed.
That's good for riffing, Brent. You want to have the The things we were texting about.
Yeah, there was one. There was that one. If you remember, you were like, "Hey, dude, brother." I said, "What's up, man? What's up?" You were like, "Hey, I'm here at the Connecticut Huskies football game, in Hartford, Connecticut, and they just asked me if I want to come down and have a chance to win $25,000 for kicking a 45-yard field goal." And I said, "Dude, are you gonna do it?" You were like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it, but I really don't like UConn, so I think I might go." And then you said you were joking, but you said, "Did you watch that Kansas Missouri game?" And the guy did the whole shebang. Had a whole chest paint saying FKKU. Had a whole, what?
Did you
He
see
had
this, Ryan?
an amputated leg, and
I
he
saw it.
chanced to kick, and instead he kicked it right towards the hated rival. And you said, "Brent, if you had a chance at a half-court shot against that team from Norwood, and you make it, you get $100,000. If you miss it, then whatever. What are you doing in that scenario?" I said, "What? You got to go full. What's the movie? Is it what's the movie where Will Ferrell just like spoofs half-court shot and like
Semi-pro.
throws it at
Yeah, because he's like, we don't have the money.
Yeah, I was saying I'm aiming right at Richard Pitino and just calling it a day. So I'm going to put it out to everyone. You're given a chance, or what would you say is one of the stranger things that you've seen when it comes to like one of these chances to win something, and what would you do in a similar scenario?
If I could, how much soccer do you guys watch? Much? Any at all?
Good amount.
Not a ton,
Have you seen the throw in where they like do the front flip with the ball?
Yeah,
So that they get more torque, and then they can just like I would
launch
do
it.
that. I would do that. Like I don't want to like you're not gonna like there's people standing around the huddle. They're gonna grab they're gonna deflect from the ball.
And
like
the shot was missed.
Yeah, you're not, but if I could do one of those front flips where you land and just really, really get some good momentum on the ball. I'm not saying what team I would. I'm just
right.
If I was going to do something like that, I would want to be able to execute the front flip.
Okay.
And then get a lot of velocity on it.
Right. Okay. Fair.
I got 4 kids. If I'm doing anything like that and not taking the shot, I'm getting murdered when I get home.
Well, the guys, it was a 40-yard field goal. Like, that's a long ass field goal.
No chance.
For just some random guy.
45-yard field goal.
Doesn't matter.
With a prosthetic leg. Like I was not going to make the field goal. So if it was a 25, 30-yarder and you had a chance to make it, that's a different math equation.
Some Missouri booster probably hit him up and said, "Hey,
I got you.
What's your Venmo?"
Yeah, I got you.
Bam.
A half-court shot, you kind of have a half-court shot is makeable.
Yeah.
As long as you got enough strength to get the ball.
I mean,
online.
What was it? Last year, 2 years ago, where like the Chick-fil-A started getting pissed off because
everybody's making it.
Students made 5 in a row of these half-court shots for a year supply of Chick-fil-A. But hey, it is what it is. Royer, what are you taking the shot? What's one of the weirder scenarios that you've seen in these things? I love
the Batman field goal, the famous Batman at Nippert. That was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
No, the way I would do it, so I'd get a ticket over in Norwood when we play there. I'd dress up in full X gear.
Oh.
I'd give a fake name. I'd stand right by the Xavier Media people, and I'd be like, please, let me do the half-court shot. Let me do the half-court shot. They get me up there under fake name, go up, tear off the X clothes. I got a throwback Oscar Robertson UC basketball jersey on.
Borrowed from Alec Pierce. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Spike the ball at half court, double bird, run out of the stadium before I get arrested.
Let's go.
I can tell you the path. I know how to get straight out of there.
I'll get Chad. I'll write it down on my palm so I have the exit plan.
That was just hilarious. Just another fantastic moment in college football.
Tattoo it on your body like Prison Break.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Well, that was beautiful. I love riffing. Pudge the Cat was just fantastic. And then I saw that and I'm just like, God, there's nothing better than just college sports, man. Just all these like wild atmospheres and small storylines going on at every single place. It's just like there's what was it? Spitgate down in Florida against USF. I didn't quite see what happened there, but I mean, it's all over the place.
You know, it was another NFL copycat. He apologized today.
Okay.
Don't spit on people. What are we doing? Quit spitting on people.
Did you see the angle that Dak spit first?
Yeah, but really poorly.
Yeah, but like obviously Jalen Carter's was way more egregious. But there's always more to the story.
He had some velocity on that loogie too, man. That was an impressive loogie. So shouts to him. But yeah, let's go ahead and timestamp and we'll hop in this mailbag, get it open and shut.
Timestamp brought to you by Quick Paper Supply. They provide mostly disposable restaurant supplies, to-go containers, cups, pizza boxes, to-go bags, can liners, napkins. They've been open since 2009, are one of the largest minority-owned companies in the city. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases. And that, of course, brings us to the Greg Hooden mailbag.
Rick.
Go see Greg at Beachmont Toyota. He will be there to take care of you. Contact him. He will get you taken care of by your new or pre-owned Toyota from Greg at Beachmont Toyota. You can find him on social media at Cincy Greg Hooden, CINCY, Greg HOODIN. And he will get you taken care of. Just when you walk in, make sure you ask for Greg. And let him know that Brent sent you specifically.
Amen.
Amen. Brent Young.
It was great to see you, Greg, on Saturday. So shouts to you, man. Here in the Cincy Light Studios, right, Chad? There we go. Aaron, take it away.
All right, let's get
Every
going.
Can matters. Buy Cincy Light.
The Greg Hooden mailbag. We did see you down at the Republic of Cincinnati tailgate there, so stop on by. Killer B asks, from the football portion of the Greg Hooden mailbag, on a scale of 1 to 10, rank your level of concern for each of these 5 stats, 10 being most concerned after 2 games.
Okay, ready.
I guess we can do this one at a time. Time of possession, 63% by our opponents, severely limiting UC possessions on offense.
Royer, 1 to 10.
Over the 2 games, I'm going to call it 6.5. A lot of concern from the first game, because the offense was non-existent. But I think this game was a little bit more of quick strike versus a run style team. I never felt like we were out of control of the game.
Right.
Time of possession, exactly what Ryan's saying. If you're scoring, then whatever. The other team can have the ball as long as you want. But when you're not scoring, then it's like pretty terrible. So yeah, I'd say like 6. Not overly concerned about it, but you know, they only gave up 20 points in each of the games. So it's not like, you know, they lost time of possession and also giving up 40 points in each game. Definitely wanted the 3 and outs is what kills the time of possession for Cincinnati. Gotta just find ways to like get better first down plays. I don't know. It's not a massive concern, but it is something to think about.
I'll go with 7. Like I only because both times it was like double. It was 40-20. That's a lot. If it was 35-25, I'm not like a 4. But 40-20 is substantial. And I didn't see 50 points on the board in those 20 minutes for me to just be like, it's fine. So I'll go 7.
I'm at a 7.5, largely because of the third down percentage on in both games. I think if you start getting that third down percentage up, you're extending some of those drives
on offense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was defensively like 30%.
No. I'm good with that.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 2, opposing quarterbacks completing 79.5% of their passes.
8.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
I don't think in either game we're getting like diced up though.
Yeah, but
we're
80%, Ryan. 80%.
I know. I've given that. If you're gonna allow them to throw passes that are 5 yards and under, I'm hoping that the quarterback, like if any Division I quarterback, is going to be right around that 70 to 80% mark. It's not surprising now if that stays up to 80% and we're letting up, 250 yards plus every week, and we're letting up over 24 points regularly, I think, that's obviously like an 8, but
yeah.
I just think, look, I don't think Nebraska has a great offense. I don't think Bowling Green has a great offense.
Baylor,
when you're gonna play really good offenses. We just talked about there's 4 quarterbacks on this schedule coming up in Big 12 play that are really, really efficient, really good. Those teams are going to make more plays. So, but you better get them down 65, 68%, because at 80%, it's going to look a lot like Colorado did last year, where, I mean, it felt like Colorado was in control that entire game. You can't, 80% is bananas. Bananas. BANANAS.
That is what she said.
All right. 0 turnovers by the defense.
9.
Yeah, 9.5.
9.
Yeah, 9's a good one.
10.
Because especially, like, yes, there were the fumble scenarios against Nebraska, but and I guess the
2 drop picks.
The one interception as well. But like it kind of what Roy is saying, it doesn't seem like there's like a bunch of turnover opportunities presented as well. Like and it might be that cushion, and it might be that little dink and dunk that we're giving up as well. So, but I mean, yeah, got to find a way to force it.
Total running back yards, 163 on 39 touches for an average of 81.5 yards per game.
I think they'll be fine in the running game. I'm not worried about Scott Satterfield team running the football. 3.
5.
Yeah. 4 because just because it's through 2 games. But if you look over a full season, I think it'll change, because I think what we've already mentioned, Bowling Green was giving up the pass, so we took full advantage.
I'm with you guys. I'm probably around a 4. And 47% conversion rate on third down by our opponents.
Um, 4.
Yeah,
because that would be
4,
bad if
3,
that continued throughout the rest of the way. But I just think Nebraska had a really high percentage, and it's kind of goofing it up at this point. Come back to us in 4 weeks, and if it's still that high, then we'll raise it up to a 9.
I'm far less concerned with the defensive third down versus the offensive third down. All right, next question. Name 1 or 2 Bearcats that have really high football IQs that just really stand out. I'm taking Jake Golday.
Golday for sure. I mean, it helps that he's just an absolute freak.
Doesn't hurt.
With 6'4", 240, and
Doesn't
you remember the you've seen Dazed and Confused, right, Aaron?
Yeah.
Where got 6'4", 240, runs 4'4", 6'5", 230, runs 4'4", 40-yard dash. Like, that's Jake Golday. That's Jake Golday. He's the guy they're describing in Dazed and Confused.
Before people look like that.
Right. That was back then. Like, those people didn't actually exist. Jake Golday does exist. That was a fictional character in that movie, and now it's just Jake Golden. I think he's got a really high football IQ. I think Gavin Gerhardt has an incredibly high football IQ.
I think Dante does too.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much our captains.
Yeah. The captains are all good football players.
Joe
Royer, high football IQ. Anybody else you guys want to add to the list?
Christian Harrison.
I don't think I've watched him play enough yet to really vouch for his football IQ.
I guess I still go back to that tackle against Nebraska where he saved that touchdown knowing that that line was right there.
I say JT so far, Jonathan Thompson, just because it seems like every play he makes is like a
instinctive,
pretty important instinctive play. Yeah, so
I'll give you JT. You know, I'm a big I'm the president of the JT fan club.
Oh yeah.
Have been since like his second practice at UC.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's more than one or two for you, 50 Bearcat. How many people on BCJ staff could be on the field and you would still feel confident in UC winning this weekend, like actually playing / in the rotation?
Ryan Royer. That's it.
Oh, I disagree.
That's a stretch too for me.
I think the four of us could be out on that field.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
Absolutely, yes. You don't?
They would hurt you,
bro. We could just stand in the corner of the end zone and just like watch them play like 9 on 11.
That's insane,
brother.
I'm just wondering.
They were down 59-0, and the game had to be called short because of weather.
I'm just wondering which one of us pukes first.
I'm pulling a hammy in warm-ups. Oh, I'm out. Sorry.
Not part of your touchdown celebration.
I mean, I'll do a touchdown celebration, catching like one, just passes on air.
Mean pulling up on the bad hammy.
No, it'd be for it'd be for real. Aaron, come here.
And in all seriousness, is all the negativity going on about Coach Scott Satterfield actually hurting the program?
It doesn't help. Like it,
I mean, pressure's good. We've established a standard. The team needs to keep getting better, and they need to get dramatically better this year in the win-loss column. I think that standard and that pressure is totally acceptable. Obviously, just going around screaming, fire Satterfield, like that doesn't do anything. But having good fact-based criticism is valid, and he's owned up to it, and he knows how important it is, and he feels the pressure. And I think he's going to go out there and try to win every single game. And if he can get his guys to win 7 or 8 games this year, then I think things are moving decent. So
you know what pressure makes, Ryan?
Diamonds, Brent.
Woo! And those are a girl's best friend, my man.
They are.
Yeah. Yes, I think it hurts just because like fan just engagement I think is so important right now, especially with the social media era. But like Ryan's saying, you got to put a little pressure on, and the urgency needs to be ramped up, and got to figure out the ways to turn the negativity into a positive, because we are all positive, especially here on the BBP.
In all seriousness, winning fixes everything. So whatever.
The negativity is not good. That doesn't mean it's not warranted, but it's not good. Like it can be both things.
Mm-hmm.
Go win.
Amen.
All right, that ends the football portion of the mailbag. Moving on to the basketball portion of the mailbag. One whole question. How many 2026 targets have upcoming official visits scheduled? Who are they? With the emphasis on retention and transfers, will the staff limit the number of high school signees to about 2 or 3?
The only scheduled 2026 visit I know of right now is Aziz Olajuwon, and I think he gets here Wednesday. So
Let's do it.
I know Chris Washington was scheduled, but he committed to Alabama. So
another one that was tweeted on
2027.
Oh, is Savage 2027?
Yeah, that's 2027.
Okay.
So of the 2026s, I think Olajuwon is the only one that is scheduled right now. I think it's you're in big trouble if you're signing 4 or 5 high school recruits in this league. There is empirical evidence that you have to be a very special kind of freshman to come into this league and make an impact in year one. If you got 4 or 5 of those guys on your roster, boy, you better hope your first 4 or 5 guys that you're putting in games are like all conference level, because you're in big trouble if you're counting on freshmen playing in the Big 12. It just sucks. It's a pain in the ass. I know fans don't like it because they want freshmen to come in and become sophomores and juniors and whatever, but it's just at the highest levels of the sport, unless they are can't miss NBA lottery picks, they have a very, very difficult time contributing until at least year 2. And guess what tends to happen? What we saw with Tyler Betsy, where there was some promise in year 1. It didn't all click. And you spend a lot of time developing a guy, a lot of time and money developing a guy to go play somewhere else his sophomore year.
Yeah.
The juice and the squeeze are unbalanced, let's say.
And that ends the basketball portion of the Greg Hood mailbag. Moving on to the banks, because there was nothing in the baseball. We've had this question before. It's been a while. Which actor plays you in your biopic movie?
Bert Kreischer. Nah, I'll go Tom Segura. Probably Segura.
I mean,
Be a little
they're
bit
interchangeable at this point, right?
Yeah, but Bert's a little bit more like silly. I don't think I'm silly all that often. I'm a little bit more cynical, which is more Segura than Kreischer. I think I'd be more Segura.
I back when I was a waiter way back in the day, this gal I was waiting on the table, she looked at me. She was like, "You remind me so much of that really funny guy from that movie, The Hangover." And I was like, "Oh yeah, you're talking about Bradley Cooper, aren't you?" And she was like, "Yeah. He played Alan, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's just roll with that." let's roll with that. But yeah, no, probably Bradley Cooper, or maybe like Glenn Powell or Leonardo DiCaprio or something like that would probably play me.
Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, Seth Rogen.
I love Ryan Gosling, so how you can play me.
Oh, pause. Yeah.
Oh wow, got my ass.
I've said this for a long time. Adam Brody would be me.
Okay. Gosh, I would love a movie about the BBP. That'd be Oscar worthy.
Seven people.
The BBP goes to Vegas.
Oh, I like that.
Oh no,
I like that.
We'd probably be more like Atlantic City. I don't know if we'd be in Vegas. We might be in Atlantic City.
Reno.
Yeah. The BBP goes to Reno.
I love it.
We get lost and we end up in Reno.
Do you think if we invited every guest that we've had on the pod and just see who shows up, like it would be pretty wild to see who actually showed up?
Mo Egger.
Yeah, Jordan Bishop.
Greg would go.
Yeah.
Bob.
Bishop, Jimmy Smith.
Bob would go. Bob would
without
go
a doubt. Sure. Bob would go.
Danco Joe would be there.
Shane from Galactic would probably join us.
And Alec Pierce and Marty Gilliard.
Turtle from Turtles Brew.
Greg's in. Let's go.
All right. Give me a TV show recommendation so I can fill up some nights until Maction starts up.
Ooh.
True
I don't watch
Detective
TV
season
shows.
1,
Oh yeah, one of the best
Breaking
series
Bad,
ever.
Game of
Bad.
Thrones, Sopranos.
The Boys.
The Boys is good. How about anything new? You guys peeping anything new these days? You know what's
I don't watch
what's a
TV.
pretty good one is Peacemaker. It's like a, that's another superhero one for you. That's the John
back
Cena
to
one.
DC.
Yeah.
That's an easy watch.
Chernobyl's really good.
Yeah,
Chernobyl.
you're into that sort of thing. Let's see here.
The Night of.
Okay.
It's a murder mystery. It's with the guy who plays the tall. What's his name?
Oh my
in
God,
Severance? The tall, skinny guy.
Ooh, well, what about Severance?
Yeah, Severance. Yeah.
I think you should leave. Maybe Always Sunny, Portlandia.
Terminal is pretty good if you like war stuff.
Okay, Tires is pretty funny. Yeah.
Tires is funny. It's one
Yeah,
TV show I watched on a couple flights. I've been
Funniest
able to catch all
TV
the
show,
Tires.
hands down. Eastbound and Down.
Oh yeah,
Not
hilarious.
even close. I just
Hey,
watched that for the first time the past couple months. It is unbelievable. I mean,
hilarious.
it is messed up to shit. It is some way out there,
right.
very, very inappropriate humor. But
Oh yeah,
if you're into that, you're gonna love it. So.
Righteous Gemstones, Stranger Things, Glee.
All right. We're mentioning Glee.
We're not.
moving on.
The question wasn't name every TV show.
What scenario, and this is the last question in the mailbag, what scenario would be the most shocking and which would be most likely? Reds go 14-5 down the stretch and get to 86 wins and sneak into the playoffs. Bearcats go 7-3 the rest of the way to finish 8-4 and play in a respectable warm weather bowl.
Reds.
And Bengals springboard off 1-0 to finish 12-5 and return to the AFC Championship.
Most shocking Reds.
Yeah.
Yes.
Most likely Bengals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Easy. The
peasy.
Bengals have Joe Burrow. Like, I'm not that confident in the Bengals, but they have Joe Burrow. So anything they do is not going to shock me.
And you know what? The Browns defense might be good. I'm just
I think they are good.
The Browns defense has always been probably the best matchup in the NFL for the Bengals because they have two corners that they can put. Again, it goes back to having two elite corners. Yeah. Okay, one's got Chase, one's got Higgins, and
then they've got Myles Garrett.
And then got Myles Garrett. That guy's pretty good.
Yep.
That's the mailbag. Get us out of here, Brent.
You could watch Wednesday. That's a new one on Netflix.
That's the mailbag. Get us out of here, Ryan.
Well, that was awesome, guys. Yet again. Oh, what up? Oh, what
up? Redelegated back to the bottom.
Felt like that was a little Brady Bunch going on there. But anyway, yet again, guys, that was fun. But yeah, shouts to Northwestern State for coming in, and the Demons gonna show Nippert Stadium. This is is this a wear something? No, I don't think so. It's
black.
Okay.
Black, yeah.
Wear black. Greg Hooden also mentioned tomorrow little game against Xavier and at the shoe for the volleyball team. Wear black to that. But yeah, shouts to Danco Transmission and Auto Care. Shouts to Greg Hooden. Shouts to Quick Paper Supply. Shouts to Cincy Light. 1-1. Chance to go 2-0 this Saturday, 3:30. We'll have everything for you on BCJ leading up to that. But for my guys, for my pals, for the crew, for the squad, for Aaron Smith, for Chad Brendel, for Ryan Royer, I am Brent Young. Yet again, another fantastic BBP presented by BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!